Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back once again to some GT7 news. This time thanks to Kaz, he headed to Twitter this morning and gave us official confirmation of update 1.36, including a release date and the typical car silhouettes. And there's 4 of them and it's a little bit bizarre. I'll explain why as we kind of go through it. I do want to give a big shout out to Nenkai though for officially coming along around about 30 minutes after Kaz and confirming the cars. Whilst I was still on the fence about some of them, he's gone along and basically confirmed all of them. So we do have a release date for 1.36. It's going to be August the 7th of 2023. So let's have a look at the tweet itself. As you can see, next update coming 7th of August, which actually is quite a bizarre one as that makes it a Monday. However, this was the highly suspected release date for that update. So it doesn't seem that it's been pushed back or anything like that. I know a lot of people were kind of worried since the Gran Turismo movie got delayed. Is that when the update's going to get delayed? They're completely separate. Honestly, don't worry about it. You know, the movie and the game are not made by PD. They just have a bit of an import and you know, it's a completely separate product. So no, it hasn't been delayed. It's coming August 7th, where most of us actually thought it was coming. So yeah, again, just a bit of a bizarre one since I believe that drops on a Monday, but it makes sense in regards to what the post about the Toyota Corolla GR went on to say. So let's get into it. We'll start off with the front silhouette, as I think this is definitely one of the more exciting ones. So the front car is now confirmed, and this is the one I thought it was going to be. This is the Maserati MC20. It's a modern sports car, supercar, whatever you want to call it, obviously made by Maserati, and in my opinion it's stunning. I do apologize for the low quality of this image. It's either going to be really small or I have to kind of, you know, zoom it in a bit to make it look bigger, so it does take away from the quality of the photo. But overall, this is a very exciting car to have in the game. It's very modern. It doesn't feature really anywhere else, and again, you know, it does seem that Polyphony are starting to get on a bit of a roll of bringing modern cars to the game, and well, this is one of them. There's actually 2 of them in this update. So yeah, the Maserati MC20 is confirmed. That should be an excellent car to drive around, and that is the front of the silhouettes done. Now we're going to go around to the left side now, and we're going to go with what's probably the most obvious one of the bunch, but probably the weirdest one. So the Toyota Corolla GR, the Morizo edition, I believe it's called specifically, is coming to the game. However, I did think this was coming in the next update. I don't know if they've just moved it forward or the fact that they've just added it in there because it comes in as a practice car for the TGR Cup. Again, I know a lot of people are going to be able to get this one for free if you take part in, I believe, round 7 at Road Atlanta or Road America, whichever one we've got in the game, for the one make race for this car. Again, it does seem like it's coming a bit early, so I don't know if they've changed the plans around with that. I don't know if it's going to be available fully in terms of coming on Monday the 7th, or if it'll just be there for practice and then released later on down the line. So yeah, kind of bizarre why that one's in there, but yes, it is officially confirmed, and that was probably the most obvious one of the bunch. And now we'll probably go to the most weird and wacky one, and typically Gran Turismo one of the bunch at the back of the silhouettes. So this is the Toyota HIMEDIC. I think I was along the right lines in terms of guessing a Hi-Ace, but yes, it is an ambulance, and yes, you're going to be able to drive it within Gran Turismo 7. And in all honesty, I know a lot of people that maybe haven't been around the Gran Turismo series in a long time might be kind of disappointed by this or think it's just absolutely ridiculous, but for me, this is one of the most typically Gran Turismo post-launch cars that I've ever seen. You need to remember, this is a series that made the likes of the Daihatsu Midget and the Ford Model T in game, and you know, kind of use them as sort of poster image cars for the longest time. And the Toyota HIMEDIC, or Hi-Ace, whatever we want to call it, we'll call it HIMEDIC, which is what it is just absolutely fantastic, and probably one of the most stupid, ridiculous things they could have added to the game. And it's so typically Gran Turismo. People are crying out for GT3 cars, and Kaz turns around and goes, no, you can have an ambulance. So there we go. Yes, this is coming to the game. Yes, it's going to be drivable, and for me personally, I'm actually quite excited for it. I can see this one being probably one of the most ridiculous cars. I can see custom lobbies filling up now, full of just pure ambulance racing goodness, and well, I'm all for it. You know, I thought originally the other Toyota was absolutely ridiculous in terms of coming to the game as a van, and whilst yes, it's Gran Turismo and they put all sorts and everything in the game, yeah, it just kind of felt weird. But this one, This one takes the cake, but to be honest, it takes it in a good way. I'm genuinely looking forward to this. I'm not going to lie about that. And yeah, an ambulance drivable in Gran Turismo 7. It just seems so typically Polyphony and Kaz. It's just unreal. So yes, the Toyota HIMEDIC will be coming to the game with the next update. And finally, the one that a lot of people just couldn't get. For me personally, I thought this would have been maybe like an MGA, which might sound absolutely weird and just out of the blue, but this is Gran Turismo, like I said, and they will just bring all sorts and everything. However, I can confirm it's probably a much more popular choice, the Chevrolet Corvette C1 from 1958. And to be honest, I'm actually looking forward to this. This is a very, very good car, and I can imagine it being insanely good in VR at the likes of Grand Valley or some of the prettier locations in the game. I can see myself just cruising around in this one for just the absolute beauty of it. And if they get the sound right, when we've got racing exhausts on, I did recently see one of these racing in the UK, and they sound absolutely incredible. But who knows if they'll get the sound right or not. Overall, this is a fairly cool addition to the game, to be quite honest, and it certainly completes more of the Chevrolet Corvette lineup. I believe now we've got the C1, C2, C3, C4, a C6, C7 and a C8. So I believe it's just the C5 that we're actually missing in game now in terms of getting that complete collection over the years. And yeah, it does seem like we've got a bit of everything with this update, and I'm kind of all for it. To be fair though, I do agree that it is a shame that we haven't had any more, I guess, race cars, you know, kind of added in. So yeah, in terms of overall about the all four of the cars coming to the game, am I excited about them? Yes, because it just seems like forever since we had an update, and to be honest, the last update was very, very disappointing. So I'm hoping just that bit of extra time that they've given it might bring some extra stuff to the game. In terms of people asking if there's going to be any tracks, events or anything like that, nobody knows yet. You know, none of that's going to be confirmed until probably Wednesday when the trailer drops, in which I will just have a look at it and I'll talk about it on Wednesday. I'm assuming that's when it will come, you know, the standard release. I'm assuming they're not going to kind of hold it back till the weekend, but that will probably come sometime next week at least. In terms of the more modern cars, it does seem like we're actually starting to get some in-game. The Maserati being a fairly modern sports car, and definitely one I'm looking forward to. The Toyota Corolla, you know, it's a modern hot hatch. It's one that personally you would just never see in the UK. I don't even think it's sold here, so having the full-blown performance model in the game is definitely something I'm looking forward to. Typical with the Toyota partnership that Polyphony have going on with them. The Toyota HIMEDIC, HiAce, whatever we want to call it, again, I think it's a brilliant addition and just adds to the typically meme cars of over the years of, you know, that have come to Gran Turismo games. And to be honest, I can see some bizarre races coming with that one. I'll probably just host a lobby with that vehicle. And then we have the stunning and classic Chevy C1, which I'm genuinely excited for. It's always good to have a nice classic car. It's always good to keep these classics alive. So yeah, overall, pretty decent update. Shame we didn't get any race cars. If, you know, if in terms of tracks, like I said, probably not going to be announced until the trailer. I don't see anything officially confirmed yet. Don't expect it to be until later on in, I guess, next week. In terms of events, again, don't think the same. They're never announced early. This is purely just the cars. I can't stress that enough. You know, don't kind of, you know, jump in thinking, oh, that's going to be it for the update, because, you know, stuff does kind of get announced a little bit later. It's just the cars and CAS that come in early. So that's going to be it from me today. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to stay up to date with everything GT7, including full coverage of the update when it drops and any other news that kind of comes out along the next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day and the rest of your weekend. Take care, guys. Peace.